The CoinDesk Spotlight is brought to you by Nexo, the place to earn on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more.
And our final guest is a co-founder of blockchain-based smart contract platform, Tezos. Joining us now is Kathleen Breitman in Miami. Welcome, Kathleen.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Good to have you. All right. So, and we touched on this in the beginning of the show. You know, securities regulators are telling Tesla that their CEO, Elon Musk, twice violated a court-ordered policy requiring his tweets to be pre-approved by company lawyers last year, according to the Wall Street Journal. And while the tweets in question have nothing to do with crypto, the industry is turning sour on Elon Musk. Sentiment for Musk on Twitter has shifted from positive to negative, hitting a new low in May, according to a data firm called Awario. And Yahoo Finance is reporting that sentiment changed as Musk started criticizing Bitcoin's energy consumption, announced that Tesla would no longer accept Bitcoin payments, triggering the crypto market sell-off that we have now. So I'm wondering, Kathleen, in the aggregate, do you think Elon Musk is good for the crypto industry? Is he playing a positive role or not?
I think that being disappointed in Elon Musk is a just punishment for caring about what he said in the first place. And, you know, I mean, like, Elon Musk is a great entrepreneur. Like, he's a really smart guy. He sends rockets up into space. The rockets come back. You can use them. I mean, that's pretty awesome stuff. But clearly he's not, you know, a cryptocurrency expert, and it's not his forte. He seems to be having a lot of fun trolling a lot of people on Twitter. And I think, you know, getting rankled about that is kind of your problem, right? So yeah, it's kind of devastating that one person seems to have so much effect on the sentiment of you know, the cryptocurrency space. But you know, it's a kind of a weird internet phenomenon that we're just figuring out, and so I don't think you should be surprised that this type of randomness, you know, enters the equation sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Kathleen. Yeah, I fully agree with that comment. I think so. You know, another place where Elon Musk has been pretty influential is on the whole energy debate. And I'm just curious, like, you know, what your take is on why is this? You know, why is Elon Musk suddenly caring about Bitcoin and energy now? I mean, I think there's some questions about the timing, and just in general, I'm curious about your take about the larger conversation about energy and Bitcoin that's going on right now. Like, do you think it's actually happening in good faith, or do you think there's all these sort of people who are coming at it with their own agendas? Like, do you think it's like an intellectually honest debate that's happening right now about Bitcoin and energy?
Yeah, no, that's a fair question. Yeah, first and foremost, it is very surprising that Elon Musk seemed to be unaware of, you know, the underpinnings of Bitcoin.
Right, it's not a new problem. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that again. We shouldn't have cared in the first place, but here we are. And so yeah, I mean, basically, what I find telling about, you know, the sort of proof of work consensus algorithms is that basically that, like, no new project that is garnering a lot of excitement is launching with proof of work. You know, it's kind of it's very much a 1.0 first gen, you know, cryptocurrency solution to the consensus problem. There's been a lot of progress done and research in the space for more eco-friendly, I suppose, solutions such as proof of stake, which of course is what Tezos operates on. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's almost a moot point to get so rankled into throughout the whole cryptocurrency debate because of energy consumption, when clearly there are, I suppose, options and other alternatives that don't use as much, don't consume as much energy. I think a big problem in the space is, you know, thinking that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And so I think a lot of the criticisms that are being made now of Bitcoin for its energy consumption are in bad faith, but I don't think that dismisses the point that, yeah, proof of stake is a viable alternative to it, and it does happen to have less of an ecological impact, and that's a great thing.
Good morning, Kathleen. You know, Elon Musk is in the energy business in his company. They sell credits, they sell solar panels. Do you think that his frustration is that he couldn't get the miners that he met with a few weeks ago to buy his credits or panels? Is there some sort of financial interest that he had in getting miners to, you know, all of a sudden start caring about energy consumption, and it being happened to be his business?
Well, I certainly think that, you know, the fact that he was, you know, promoting Bitcoin, which of course uses a lot of, you know, coal-based energy, you know, it seemed a little bit contradictory to his other myriad of companies that are for, you know, kind of alternative energy sources. I don't think that one of the richest men on earth, you know, is moved to change his opinion because of what, you know, some cohort of miners was willing to do or not do. And I don't think he's playing a game of chicken with them. I think he's probably got bigger problems than that. But I do think that he's definitely having a lot of fun, and I kind of enjoy watching him have fun because it is pointing a mirror to the face of the culture in the cryptocurrency community that I find rather delicious.
Is that culture not as smart as they like to think they are, because they're so addicted to Elon Musk and let's say Michael Saylor?
I don't think it's a matter of intelligence. I think it's a matter of taste. And so I just, you kind of get what you get what you pay for here. If you love Elon Musk because he tweets irreverent, meme coins into the top 10 market cap, then you should, kind of expect the other side of this, which is that you should, be quite rankled when he decides to put the wind in the other direction. So as I said, I think this is a very just punishment for a bunch of people who are very eager to latch on to that confirms their biases.
On the flip side, Michael Saylor and Elon Musk have, tried to take positive initiatives such as the mining council that they've created. They want to encourage miners to be more forward-thinking and using renewable energy sources. They say the Bitcoin industry could become a leader in renewable energy and serve as a role model for other industries to follow. Could this be a good thing? They may have some positive impact here. Can we at least give them that?
The reason that Tezos exists is, to make observation. Tezos was born out of the observation that A, Bitcoin lacks a mechanism to upgrade itself, and B, that centralization of decision-making in a blockchain is a massively dangerous risk to its future. So insofar as this validates a lot of what the Tezos position paper says, I think this is fantastic. For Bitcoin, I think it is terrible, however. And so, I think it would be great if on their own volition, these groups of people, decided to let the free market do its thing and mine with renewables. I know a lot of people doing, all sorts of cool stuff across the globe with renewable energy. I don't think Bitcoin is, a scourge on the earth. I think it has a valid reason to exist, and it's in fact a wonderful innovation that has improved the lives of many people peacefully. However, I do also tend to think that creating councils is not a good idea for the future of a decentralized platform. That's just my hot take. And in fact, I've worked several years on a alternative to it. So I'm talking my book here, of course.
Kathleen, we're not going to punish you by keep talking about Elon Musk for the rest of the show. So last time you were on, you talked about NFTs, and what's interesting is that recently there's been some data showing that NFT sales are kind of going down, and just in general, like anecdotally, it seems like there's a lot less froth around the NFT market. I'm just curious if you've noticed that, and if you feel like the NFT hype cycle has peaked. I mean, maybe it's not a bad thing, but has that been your observation?
So I think NFTs, there's like a kernel of something really awesome there, which is that people who, are in creative fields can monetize their output in a new and innovative way. It's been a great boon for people in, the digital arts, and obviously for communities coming together. One platform I'm really excited about, which has the most daily active users, is Hickeknook, which is based on Tezos. So I followed that with interest. It's got a really great hacker-ish community around it. I think that has a lot of organic traction and a lot of sort of native camaraderie, and it's not too, how shall I say this, not too orchestrated. What I think is not long for this world are the kind of, sort of venture-backed, super ham-fisted, platforms that are really trying to manufacture the sort of organic artistry and camaraderie that, other places on the internet have found more naturally. So I'm not surprised that this is kind of falling out of fashion. There's only so many times you could post a photo that gets, $700,000 for, I don't know, some pixel or whatever. But yeah, it was an interesting, sort of quarantine phenomenon, much like a lot of the other craziness that's been going on in the markets for the last 9 months. So fun while it lasted, but I do think there's a kernel of something actually quite beautiful and empowering about these NFT marketplaces.
So real quick, what's this thing you're doing with Red Bull now? I love caffeine, by the way. So
I love caffeine too. In fact, my husband used to call me Caffeine McCoffee when we were dating. But yeah, no. So Red Bull has an F1 team, Formula One, which is kind of like the fancy European version of NASCAR. I kid. But yeah, no. F1 is a really cool sport. It's really a global brand. You can watch the Netflix series about it. Drive to Survive. And yes, the Tezos Foundation has sponsored one of the teams. That's Red Bull. They won the Monaco Grand Prix a few weeks ago with Max Verstappen, who has a really awesome name, setting everything aside. And yeah, I think basically, where NFTs are going to have a lot of staying power is in sports and in the arts, specifically music. And so another announcement that the Tezos ecosystem had was basically an investment in OneOf, which is an NFT marketplace that is, I guess, being backed by Quincy Jones, as well as some other, pretty awesome folks in the music industry. So really, that's where I see sort of naturally people coming in together as fans, and I think that's where there's a market for NFTs in the long run, because those are sort of setting aside from the blockchain component and the novelty component of that. These are, mass multi-million-dollar industries.